Good morning. Been here a little bit cleaning. Uh, I was just gonna share a little bit with you what I'm going through. Sometimes the symptoms are kind of unbearable at times, but I do find little things that'll make it better. And sometimes if something catches me off guard, let's say a tick happens or something bizarre goes on, and sometimes I stuff happens that the only way I can describe it is I'm just not here. Um, then I'll stop. Sometimes it aggravates me. So it's like, what? And then I'll start taking in account of, you know, the way I feel, the wind blowing against my face, the what I hear, what sounds I hear, um, and kind of like a practice an awareness. Sometimes I'll go with a wave that starts from the front of my head to the back, and it'll pulse kind of a pattern like that. And at first, I couldn't keep that up very long, a matter of a second or two at the most. But then the more I do it, the more everything becomes focused and I can function fairly good. And I can keep it up even while I'm talking to somebody and having a conversation. I am physically or consciously aware of that pulse, and it makes me just go through smooth, and nobody's the wiser. So, they won't know unless I tell them what's all going on upstairs. And even on a ticky day, anybody that's around me is only hearing about 80% of what's going on in my head. And some of the videos where I've shown kind of how what's going on a bad day, you can imagine what's really going on. But I think what kind of just is so difficult and what I have to get, learn the lesson, it probably has to do with pride, is I went from owning my own DME to basically a glorified janitor. And I hate to just blame it on the late onset Tourette's and those symptoms. It could be, I don't know, maybe I was just too stupid. But there's a lot in my position of, well, heck, I've even had people think I'm special needs because I have Tourette's, or especially if I'm having a bad day. And that's like, I belong to the International High IQ Society that messes up my head. But then when you go through all that, you're thinking, oh, that's still a pride thing. Who cares? I'm learning the lessons, and I've really got just a short time to be on here. When I say on here, I mean on this planet, as far as our existence. Um, I shouldn't. I can't say it don't because I'm not perfect and it does bother me. But I'm working on it not bothering me because I realize the significance of what pride will do and where all that stems from. On another note, when I say I had a short time, I had a dream the night before last that I was working, and after work I called Dad, and he had mentioned that Farrell was gone, and that we're going to have to fend for ourselves for dinner. I guess she was just out somewhere. And I said, okay, I'll just head to your house. He goes, no, just meet me at such and such restaurant in Henderson. I'm like, okay. And the restaurant I hadn't heard of, I'm thinking, I'm not even know for sure where that is. And so I get ready, and I'm running a little late, and my car turns into a tricycle, and all the stupid stuff that happens in a dream that never shakes you awake, no matter how bizarre it is. You just keep on going and thinking, boy, they're the obstacles, and I never make it to that destination. But when I wake, I realize that place where he told me to eat dinner was a funeral home. And I thought, well, boy, that's kind of creepy. Is that kind of a um, kind of a reminder of how short our life is? I'm meeting Dad, who's already passed away, for dinner at a funeral home. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to put something out there, but I'll blab at you later. Bye. Good morning. Been here an hour or so already, but I was just thinking of a post that I came up on my memories. A lot of times I'll check them out in the mornings just to kind of see what it was, anything I wanted to redo. And the one post that I had, and it was a pretty heavy, emotional, heartfelt post, um, that I was more like using a creative um, writing that I'll do for kind of a tragic beauty type thing. But sometimes those things are kind of taken not the way I'm really attempting to. But the first comment on that post was absolutely perfect, and it was felt. And now that was what I was going for. Felt. You kind of feel that. The other comments I had were like meaningless to me because it was just a misunderstanding. One's like, you need to go to the doctor to see if you have depression. Well, I wonder if they said that to Edgar Allan Poe. You know what I mean? Okay. The other's like, praying for you, sweetie. Well, good for you. It's just felt, you know, I started to post it again, but then I didn't want to really hurt the feelings of the others that I felt misunderstood, because sometimes that happens a lot to me. I'm misunderstood for a lot of things. I'll think something is like really cool, and learning a lesson out of something that is tragic is beautiful to me, where everybody else is like, you know, brokenhearted, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, um, felt. Yeah, that's groovy, man. I'll blab at you later. Bye. Good morning. Everybody got here, so I kind of got out of their way a little bit till they get their vans loaded, and I can get back in there and do what I do. So I was just taking a little break. I had done a song this morning that I'd been doing for a while, just keep practicing it, trying to get better. And I played it for a few people, and they kind of seemed to like it. But if I'm not careful, I get that kind of a feeling like nobody wants to really hear you do that. Or if I listen to it and notice a few words off key, then I'm harder on myself than anybody else. But then while I sit out here and think about it, I get that sweet spirit that always accompanies that dumb stuff and says, Derek, you're loved. And it doesn't really matter if I don't sing a song that completely flawless. They appreciate what I'm doing and they love it. The ones that love me anyway. And that's really all that matters. And another interesting thing that I did, sometimes my brain will sort of run wild a little bit, especially if there's a little bit of inflammation. It was like that yesterday for a while. And what I'll do, I always find these little tricks to make things a little bit easier on me. And I discovered because I'm right-handed predominantly. I think when I was little, I was kind of prone to using my left hand, but mom kind of switched it over. But I can write left-handed as well. It's just I do predominantly right-handed. So if I'm having a day that is really, my brain is like real ticky and it's just running 1,000 miles an hour, I'll switch to doing everything left-handed, writing and doing stuff like that. And I have to slow down to make it neat. And that slows the whole process down in my head, and that makes things run a little bit better. I know that's strange, isn't it? But that seems to work, and I always find something that works. But anyway, I'll let you go, and I'll blab at you later. Visit my site if you want to. Bye. Good morning. Been here a little bit, just doing some returns for the warranty repairs on CPAP. But I just wanted to get on here and make a little video. I had some dreams last night that I don't remember much about them. Let's just say they were very entertaining, and I woke with a smile on my face, and I feel pretty good this morning. Slept well too with those dreams. So maybe I was ministered in the spirit, and I just don't, maybe my flesh really didn't need to know, but it just left that feeling that of just peace and freedom and contentment. If somebody wants a more scientific explanation, then probably in that state that you get into sleep where you dream as vividly and as like I did, and it was just all night long, that inflammation that I battle in the brain probably was gone when I woke up. I woke up with a smile on my face. So either way, I'll take it. But I'll blab at you later. Bye. Good morning. Been here a little bit and been cleaning, but I just stopped. There's something on my mind, and I was hoping that I could articulate it in a way that I could be easily understood, because that's not always easy. But I am feeling good, peace and contentment, kind of in a spiritual matter. Little fatigued, but I think that's kind of what I go through. But as far as the contentment, man, I'm really probably more grateful for that than anything, because in this day and age, we're living through some weird stuff, man. And contentment is something that is a miracle if you have it, if you reach that state. Paul said, I'm content in all things. But what I was really thinking about was, I mentioned, and I was just kind of playing around with the phone tells me the truth and my computer lies to me video before, but I was thinking about, I'd mentioned those sweet friends that won't tell you you're crazy. They just support you in all aspects, and then the ones that kind of tell you like it is, and they'll tell you what you look like in that outfit. But on a more of a serious note, the more I think about it, the more well, let's just say this. The more I study, the more I self-reflect, the more I seek for knowledge. You hate to say the smarter you get, the dumber you get, because you got a paradox there. But it's like the more intelligent you get, the more you realize that there's more you don't know than what you do know. And anybody that thinks that they're smart enough to tell you like it is might not be the ones you want to take advice from anyway. So I'll go back to that. I don't think I need them. You'll say, oh yeah, come on, somebody surely. I'm just telling you, it's kind of a weird concept to think that you got all the answers, especially when, like I said, the more intelligence you get, I don't even know if that's the right word. The smarter you get, I don't know that that's the right word either. See, that's what I'm talking about, to articulate in a way that you're easily understood. But anyway, the more I do, the more I realize needs to be done. That probably ain't right either. But anyway, I'll blab at you later. Bye. Good morning. It's a beautiful morning, kind of nice, cool, blue skies. But I just wanted to blab at you a little bit. Sometimes I'll put on these songs that I'll do, and if you notice, I'll do take 2, take 3, take 4, because I'll get to work and listen to them on my phone, and it won't sound the same as it does on my computer. And I'll think, man, my phone's lying to me. It's not as bad as what it sounds, surely. So I'll go home and I'll check my computer, and then I kind of see my computer sits in the corner, and it's sort of vertical where the speakers are in the back, and it bounces off the wall and sort of like an echo chamber. And an echo chamber kind of hides a lot of mistakes. And so I come to find out that my computer's the one lying to me, and my phone's just telling me like it is. Now, my computer's like the friends that we all really need. They won't tell you that you're crazy. They'll just support you no matter. But my phone's like that friend that nobody wants, but maybe you should have at least one that'll kind of tell you like it is. It's like, yeah, that outfit makes your butt look big. You should try stripes, vertical. Yeah, well, I'll just blab at you later. Bye. Good morning. Hadn't been here long, but I wanted to do a little video. They kind of make me feel better. But I was thinking about the individual, and I never want to blow anybody off as far as the individual and their benefits to what we go through in our experience, just because I find them a little odd. God knows I've got my strange traits myself. But I've said that to say this: I sure appreciate the individual that gives me their undivided attention when I communicate with them. In other words, if somebody asks me how I'm doing and I turn around to answer their inquiry to the back of their head as they're walking down the hall, they really don't care how I'm doing. That's just a courtesy on their part. Now, I don't want to blow them off. They're a beautiful individual, but it's just they're being courteous. That's it. They don't really care. Same way if I play a song for somebody here, if they don't have enough respect to turn off the radio and give me their undivided attention, they may even compliment the song at the end, but that's just a courtesy to them. They don't have enough respect to give me their undivided attention. Now, I did play a song for one of the gals here, and she stopped what she's doing, kind of gave me her undivided attention, real respectful, watched my video, smiled, even commented about the editing process, and really enjoyed what she was listening to, whether it was actually that good or just for my sake, because I've said before, if somebody loves you, they appreciate what you do, whether the quality is there or not. And that accented the other to the point of I'm no longer going to give my attention to somebody who don't give their attention to me fully. I appreciate what she did and the way she responded and acted while she watched that video. She gave me her undivided attention, and that was just a beautiful thing to me. It was appreciative. But for those who don't, or they'll kind of watch it with their arms folded, give me the cross, that might mean that they've got something better to do than to watch this thing that I've created, then I'm no longer going to share it with them. I don't really want to hurt their feelings. They're a beautiful individual, and I'll treat them as such. And if they ever come to me, I'm going to be sure to give them my undivided attention. Regardless, I'm not going to treat them any worse because of it, but I'm not going to waste my time on my creations for anybody that don't have the time for me. But you all have a nice day. Bye. Good morning. I'm here putting some stuff up here kind of early. After that, I've already got a sleep location to do. That's pretty groovy. Still hanging on to the peace and contentment that I'm so graciously given from the Spirit. Has been a beautiful morning. I do find on occasions flashbacks of like a con job that happened a few years ago, and go through different scenarios that are unproductive, but I can nip it in the bud as soon as I am cognitively aware of what's going on. And usually that's pretty quick. Sometimes that lingers longer than it should, just if I'm in some kind of automatic mode. But it's not long, till I catch myself and I'm comforted again. And I am so grateful that I've reached that point. I've watched some stuff on what people are calling the dark night of the soul, where they've really gone through just anguish on a spiritual level. And I've always heard Dad say that you're little used to God unless you're broken. And that can be interpreted in a lot of different ways. But I've also seen some that will kind of describe how they reached a certain enlightenment, and it's come from a complete breakdown of some kind. So I always wondered if it was some kind of mental collapse that pushed them into some kind of, I don't know, delusional psychotic episode or something, because some of it's kind of weird. But when you think of what they're doing and you watch them, and you think, well, you know, they seem to be happy, and whatever caused that, then maybe I ought to be grateful for what happened. And then I look at some of my own posts from like years ago, even maybe 1 year ago, but one popped up from 10 years ago, and it was pretty dark. And I thought, boy, I've come a long way when I think about, you know, I'll still go through that, like with those flashbacks and stuff, but now I'm comforted almost immediately, and it don't last long, but I've been through it. So maybe that is what they're calling the dark night of the soul, and maybe we have to go through something like that, especially at a certain point. There are probably some that don't, but they're also probably not seeking some kind of a spiritual awareness of what's going on in the spirit realm and who we are. So anyway, I'm going to get back to work before I blab too long, but it just kind of makes me feel good. But I'll talk at you later. Bye. Good morning. Been doing my thing here. I've already done one video this morning, but I thought it might be beneficial, since I talked about the dark night of the soul, to kind of explain how I practice gratitude, because I have a certain thing that I do. It may or may not work for everybody, but I've know what doesn't work, and it's the process of trying to meditate on everything you're grateful for. In other words, you're down, you're just really struggling, and somebody says, now just think of everything that you can be grateful for, and that don't work for me, because you're in a dark spot, or at least I am, and to do that is an annoyance. It didn't work. But what does work, no matter how down I am, it's like, oh man, I'll take a bite of my hamburger. Oh boy, things just tough. But boy, that is one good hamburger, man. And then you go for your Coca-Cola, take a drink. Boy, it's just boy, that is one good Coke, man. It's like one of those bottle Cokes you get in the old time machines that are extra good. And I'm like, boy, that is good, man. I enjoy that. And then the things that I do at the particular moment, like practicing the moment gratitude without trying to think of everything you're grateful for. And you're thinking, well, if there's nothing to be grateful for at the moment, then what are you supposed to do? Well, try to find something. Go do something that you're grateful for, and then practice the moment. How that feels in your hand, how that tastes on your tongue, how that sounds in your ear, and just like, wow, go overboard with it, almost dramatic, and pretty soon that dark night you'll start to see a sunrise in it. I'm telling you. Now, it worked for me. Now I'm sorry to say, I'm telling you it'll work for you. But the more I ponder all this stuff, the more sometimes we just have to go through this stuff for our own personal journey. It's an individual journey. What works for me may or may not work for anybody else. But I'm telling you, gratitude, it's hard to go wrong with gratitude and love and compassion and all that stuff that is groovy, man. I'm telling you, I can dig it. But I'll blab at you later. Bye.